Hello, welcome back to another training. And in today's training, I want to talk about sports media. Sports media and anything that has to do with media involves sharing news, right? If you talk about media, is collection of, let me put it like collection of news information. So if you want to go through media or get information, most times now we're in digital age. You don't use newspaper anymore to read news, right? Now everybody has their phone. You can go to the internet, you can browse about something or search about something. You don't need to go and look for newspaper in the olden days where you stand in a newspaper to go through latest sports news. You have to stand or buy newspaper. Now with your phone, you can go through or you can visit sports media websites or pages on social media and get information on your latest sports update. Now, as a remote worker, you might be given a job to handle the social media marketing or social media of a sports media. Now, you could be given a job to handle the social media of, something like, let's say, if it's, you can be given to handle football, it could be given to handle tennis, it could be to handle basketball or American football. You get me? These are just several sports that that are existing. These are popular sports that are existing. And you might have a client that might say, oh please, we need you to handle our social media for our sports news page or sports website on online, right? And that's why you see, whenever I tell you, if you want to get remote jobs, remote jobs are online thing. Anything I tell you, I'm telling you out of experience. You need to have this. These are the skills you should have. The skills you should have. Now, let's say you're handling a sports media page. You need to have a skill in what? Graphics designing. You see, that's why if you are going through our previous videos, I have been showing you how is this. And funny enough, this is my phone. I'm not using any big laptop. I'm doing everything with my phone, meaning that it's easy if you constantly practice all these things. So, graphics design, you have to have a skill in video editing. You have to have a skill in what? AI. And I'm going to do a sports article for a sport news page. Now I'll show you how I'm using all these skills I'm talking about to handle or to do this job. And these are the same way you also do it to if you are given a job to do. What do you need to also have skill in? Research. How to research on maybe a topic. How to research on a topic. You are working as for a sports media company or sports media agent, and the person is telling you, we need you to create content, we need you to create news or information for our clients or for our audience. All these skills, you should have them. You must not be a master, but know them very well and know how to use these skills to do your job. And no problem, no wahala, you would get paid well for it. What other skill again? SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. You need to have that skill. And and all these skills, you would see me use them in doing this job. I'm going to do two jobs. I'm going to do a graphics job and a video job for a sports media page. What else again? Copywriting. Website design is also important, but for this, I'm not building a website or managing a website for the company. I'm only managing the social media. So that means social media management is what I'm also doing right now. So you can see how many skills am I going to require right now if I was to handle a project for for a sports media, I'm going to have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 skills. I'm required to have 8 skills to handle a project for a sports media. 8 good skills. That is a lot. That is, and so many people don't even have up to even 2 of these skills. So that's why whenever we see attend our mentorship program for those who have not yet attended, we know every skill, everything you learn during the mentorship program is equipping you to handle remote jobs. Because everything you see me doing, I'm going to do here. I'm going to do it with my phone. If I have a laptop, fine. But I know many people might not have the money to buy a good laptop. A laptop might be very costly. Phones will be cheaper. With the phone you are using, a good phone, you can work for the companies, work for different clients abroad, work for different clients that need remote workers. Just a good phone is all you need. And mastering all these skills. Once you master them, don't worry. Financial freedom. Financial freedom. Financial freedom. Once you master all these skills, you will get paid steadily in dollars. I'm saying it out of my personal experience, and I want you to experience that. And one thing I also want for people, my members attending the mentorship program, is we every year we get projects, several projects. So what I like doing is whenever I have projects, I also give you jobs to do. As long as I know you are very good at it, I will give you jobs to do. So whatever money I collect for the project, you also collect your own cut. So it's a win-win for everybody. There's no way you go through my mentorship program and you will not come out as a winner, or you won't come out earning. As long as I see you are serious. So please take all these things we do, take it with seriousness. Practice it until you become very good. I didn't get to the stage I am without practicing. I kept practicing every day. Every day. Then I was still doing a job, I was still doing 1 or 2 businesses, but every day I practiced until I got better at it. So back to our discussion on sports media. Now I'm going to handle or show you how I run or work for a sports media, a football sports media. That's a football news website or a football news page. So I'll show you how I use all these skills. You will see how I develop everything from the beginning, and I make use of all these skills we are seeing here. So now let's go to it. Now, the first thing that, like I said, I'm talking about a football media, right? So when I'm talking about football, I have to always know that I need to check the latest update on football. So where do I check the latest update on football? I go to football-based websites to check what the latest updates on football. So most times what I do is I most times is I already know football websites I check. Like the popular one I always check is Live Score. And the reason why I check Live Score is, first thing, for me to generate information, I especially trending news. One thing I always know about football is always go or sports is always go after trending news, like the latest update in that sports. Now, the latest updates in the sports for me to check is the people that are playing, the remember this website livescores.com. You can see it here. See the website. See the website here. Livescores.com. So that's the website. So There are also the other websites, but this is the website I use a lot. There is Flash Call. People who do most of all these betting will know this website to check. So as a man, it's easier for you to know this website if you are into sports. So you definitely, women that might not know. So as a woman, this is a website you can check. But I love using live score. I'm already used to it. So when I check this thing, most times I always go for Premier League teams. Why I go for Premier League teams most times is because the Premier League is very popular. It's one of the most popular leagues or popular football leagues. A football league is like a tournament. Let me use the word tournament, whereby different teams come together and compete against each other. It's a competition here, whereby different teams come together and compete against each other to win what, a cup. So last, I'm just putting it in terms of for those who do not know about football. Now, most times I check football. I already know the top teams already. I already know the top teams. But if you don't know, I'm just going to put it for you as someone. I'm just going to like you don't know all these things. So what I'm doing now is what we call research. I'm doing what we call research. Remember, there are several skills, and one of the skills you need to, sorry, one of the skills you need to learn is a skill called what? See it here, research. So now I'm researching now. That's the skill I'm doing now, researching. It's a part of it. It's a type of skill, but now I'm researching. So that's what I'm doing right now. So that I'm showing you how I do my research. So let me go back, sorry. So what I do is I check for this for the team that I want to talk about. Now a match happened played yesterday, or there was a match yesterday. So for me to go to yesterday's match, I click this arrow here. Please, men that used to do betting, you now go know how to check. You know how to check all these things. Yeah, I'm doing all these things more in detail because of women. Because women may have a job as to run a sports media page or sports media website remotely for a client, and they may not know all these things. So I'm trying to just break it down for women, but men should know all these things, especially men that are into football. So I click back. What I'm clicking back is, so I want to check a yesterday's score. This match I want to do a media. I want to talk about. I want to do a job on is a match that played yesterday, and it's a match in a what, Premier League team. It's a match for the Premier League team, right? So I scroll down. The game I want to talk about is Chelsea. No, they are top Premier League teams, right? So there's Chelsea, there's Man U, there's Arsenal, there's Liverpool. So there's Man City. These are like the big teams in the English Premier League, or in this Premier League. So men know about all these. Women, you might not know it if you are not into football. So these are the top teams. So it depends. Your clients might give you like what we call a content calendar. It depends on how the job, or you might be the one to draft the content calendar for the social media page you're managing. So you might be the one, your client might do that for you. It depends. So everything depends on the agreement. But now I'm just assuming that okay, the client drafted it for me, and the client said I should write a trending news or a news or story about this Chelsea's game, right? So when I'm writing a news or story about this Chelsea's game, I would check what the score line, So for me to check the score line, I need to click on this side. So I'll click on it. Sorry. So once I click on it, it takes me to, now you see this thing you are seeing here. You see all these things you are seeing here. Now you see all these, even the websites. A remote worker might be the one managing all these things. You see this website it's a remote worker that is likely managing this thing. Remote worker is managing these things. You see the website, the every easy remote. That's the job of a remote worker to do that. And if you have a company that you are working with that requires you to manage something like this, you as a remote worker, you are meant to manage something like this. You should be able to do that. That's why if you understand website design, you see this skill here. You see all these things I'm saying are practical skills that you might not know how important these things are. Website design, this is it here. If you understand website design, you should be able to handle websites that are for social, are for sports media. Are you following me? Okay, yes. So going back to what we're talking about, now I want to look at what how the match went, who were the goal scorers. Now when I'm developing a story or I'm researching on a story, right? I like checking some information. So when checking some information, I always click on this section. Sorry, where is it? I always click on this section called summary. Now, summary summarizes like who were the people that scored the goals. You get me? Who were the people that scored the goals? Who give an assist in the game? Because maybe I wasn't able to watch the game live. Maybe I was busy doing something. So when I go to the website, it summarizes what happened on the match. So I might not watch it, but at least I have an idea of what happened in the match. You understand? So now this is what the research is all about. Now I already know. Sorry. I already know one thing. Now this is the game, right? This Chelsea, Man U, and I'm ready, and I want to check what the summary. Now this game, this sorry, for men, I'm not meant to be doing these things for men, but I'm just doing it because there might be women or people who do not love football or who do not know much about football. So this is 2-2. This is what 2-2. This is 2-2. Now this thing means Brentford and Chelsea played a draw. Brentford scored Chelsea 2 goals and Chelsea scored Brentford 2 goals. So the score what is a tie or a draw. And they are good, and for if you have a tie or a draw in the football game, it means you have just 1 point. If you that's right, during your research, you need to research on football news, football rules. You need to do research. If you're going to handle a media for a sports media, football especially, or any type of sports media, you must settle down and research and have a knowledge of that sport. That is where you can see this is where this skill research is coming into play. You need to do research, you need to read, you need to study, you need to learn about that sport.